and welcome to another episode of Millennial Minute. I'm your host, Julia Sun. Today's topic, should trans athletes be able to compete in women's sports? You know our guest well, Erin Elmore, a contributor for Turning Point USA, and joining her is Nate Lerner, Executive Director of Built the Wave. Welcome, guys. Look, since 2004, trans athletes were able to participate in the Olympics. But Erin, I'll start with you. You don't think that should be the case?
I absolutely don't. It only hurts women in a time when we are supposed to uplift women and exalt women in their own right. Science is just not on the side of this. As indicated in my introduction, women and men have 3,000 genes that are differently expressed in the skeletal muscles. This will just show you that we are not biologically aligned to compete with each other in sports. It's damaging to women. Women will receive less accolades, less praise, less medals, less awards, less college scholarships. It just doesn't bode well for women in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. The point of contention is obviously that when a guy transitioned into a female body, he retains some of his former biological advantages. Nate, what do you think about this issue?
So yeah, unfortunately, as much as I enjoy a good debate, I do agree to an extent. I think it does create a certain level of unfairness. That being said, I'm not a big fan of the way that the right often portrays individuals who identify as trans. They tend to use it as a really hot cultural topic to fire up their base when it's pretty a minor issue in my opinion. We saw it with the bathrooms law, and we're seeing it with the sports. Like they make a big fuss about it. They seem like this massive crisis of unfairness. But in reality, this is a minor issue that can be addressed. I think we can find a nice middle ground, and I'm hopeful that we can agree on something that's more that works for all parties.
Well, Nate, then let me follow up on that. What is the middle ground here?
That's a good question. I think it's still so early. Like this is such a new issue. There is not going to be an easy solution. Maybe we can create like separate events or some sort of handicap system. But I think this is simply to say it's black and white, or they can or can't compete is not fair and is not right, because it does kind of blanket over a more complex issue than that.
And Erin, when you say transgender women should not compete with other female athletes, then should they compete with other men?
So I think this is not a matter of politics in any way. I don't think it's a trans issue. I think it's a biology issue and a science issue. I don't exactly know what a trans woman is. I don't think those are words that are grounded in actual science. I think there are DNA men and DNA women, and those two should not compete in the same sport, not because I feel any way about these two populations. I just think it's a matter of biology and science, and politics should be left out of it completely. There is no bigotry. There is no hatred. There is no malice. The only thing we are talking about is science and fairness, and that is a black and white issue.
Right. Because for these athletes themselves, when they go through gender reassignment surgery, their testosterone level is different. Everything becomes different. So, Nate, do you think this kind of advantage remains, and where is the middle ground again?
Yeah, I think it definitely remains. I mean, I think the science isn't fully out on it, but there's anyone with with common sense can tell there's certainly an advantage to an extent. And I think we see it too in the statistics. And I think it does create some unfairness. As a Democrat, I believe strongly in fairness, so I certainly oppose it. I think we're asking the wrong question. It's not whether yes or no. It's okay. Well, I think most people agree. They shouldn't be allowed to compete. It's more okay. Then can we find a solution that works, that's still sensitive to individuals who identify as trans, that allows them to still participate in sports, especially in youth sports. That's really important to our culture, far more so than the Olympics. It's a big part of a young person's identity and growth. Is being able to participate in sports. So I think we should focus on how can we make sure that young people can fairly compete and still get an opportunity.
All right, Erin, I'll give you the last word. Is there even an alternative solution to level the playing field for everybody?
Unfortunately, I don't think that there is a solution for everyone. I think that the sports should be completely separated by gender, and that is backed in science. And if we don't continue to separate these sports, we're going to see women being hurt more. And oftentimes we see the Democrats that are having the rallying cry for women. Men competing with women only hurts women. And we want to see women succeed in the world just as much as men.
All right. We'll leave it there. I'm sure I'll have both of you back. Thank you both for being here. And thank you for watching. I'm Julia Sun, and this is Millennial Minute.